the stream right now. Wait for it. Let's see if it's working. Let's see if it's working.
Let's go into the houses.
Let's see if it's working.
It should be all good.
And I think it's working. Hold up.
And I think it's working.
Shut up, dog.
Why didn't go tell that to Apple? Ooh.
Let's see if it's working. Let's see if it's working.
Alright, 200 health on that.
And I think it's working. Hold up. Yeah, it's working. Okay, now I can stop being like that. Hello, guys, and welcome to this live stream. I guess,
Only guys. Some of these people could be female.
ladies and gentlemen, and furries. Is that better, dog? Is that better?
You forgot to acknowledge the aliens.
Oh, shut up.
The vegan
So,
people.
I don't usually do like live stream when it comes to this kind of stuff because I don't care about Apple
This is a podcast.
or a podcast. This is a live stream podcast. It can be anything. I don't care. Anyway, first thing, I'm sorry for the background noise in the back because I got family over and my brother's playing Blackout, whatever. But I don't like. I wouldn't like. I know this is what a tech gamer / channel, I guess. And of course, Apple releases phones again that look like the same shit again every single year. I like, to be honest, I might be biased on this, but I do not like Apple. Never in my whole life I've ever liked Apple.
I mean, I didn't hate them when I first heard of when the iPod became a thing. Because obviously that was a big trending thing. Because when you think about music, you always thought about Apple all the time. But then later on, as Android became a thing, as I got older, my friend kind of like educated me a little bit. He told me not to go to Apple. So then I educated myself, and this was during the time when I was buying a tablet. I was looking through every tablet, and then I finally realized, holy shit. There are better tablets than an iPad. Probably the same thing goes for the phones as well. And that's how I realized how shitty Apple is.
We were getting there, Richard.
Sorry.
We were trying to get there. I know. Hold up. Just hold up.
Sorry.
All right.
The richest man here, by the way, guys.
I got the richest man and Doggy Bone Gaming with me. Say hi, guys.
What's up?
Okay. Thank you. I would have Adam here, but he's somewhere. Razorblade Mango somewhere. I don't know. He watched The Nun last night. He's probably hiding in the closet.
No, he's playing Spider-Man.
Okay, he's probably playing Spider-Man. Who knows? Okay, so... Alright, so iPhone just announced 3 new phones. He got the iPhone XS, the XS Max, and the XR. The XR is apparently their budget version of the X. Series, I guess. I'll call them series now. Priced at, where is it? $749 for the base model. $749 for the base model. And it's not even a 1080p screen. It's not a fucking 1080p screen. How many phones in the market, dog, are right now that you can get a screen that has 1080p? How many fucking phones can you find right now for half the price?
Thousands, dude.
With a quality 1080p screen.
A ton. My phone does that, for crying out loud.
No,
Dude, you could go anywhere. Like, you can literally just go on Google, type in cheap phones under 200, and you'll find a lot of phones that are way better than any Apple phone.
My mom has an LG. She has an LG Q6. All right, that's like one of their like lower end models, mid tier, I guess. I will say. And I think it's 1080p, of course.
Sniper rifle right here. Sniper.
It's 1080p Full HD plus, so it's 2160 by 1080 with 442 PPI. So it is sharp. It is sharp. iPhone XR 1792 by 828 pixels, 326 PPI. It's not full 1080p resolution. Not full 1080p. What? Okay. What? Okay. Would you guys pay $750 for a phone that would give you just 720p?
No.
Even if I was rich, I wouldn't do that.
There is so much more options out there.
It's the main problem with people these days. People just the thing with people is that once Apple announces a new product, they get excited because they know it's Apple.
Like I will get it if Apple like, okay, you know, we're gonna make it cheaper, more affordable, but for $250. What? I'm gonna go for the what's it called? The XS. Even the XS is not even 1080p. It's 2436 by 1125. Oh, never mind. It is 1080p. Sorry, it is 1080p. But for $250 more? Yeah, $250 more for the base model. So if I want a 1080p screen from Apple, I have to pay $250 more. The S9 at $730 has a 2K resolution screen. 2K for $730. And for $750 from Apple gets you not even 1080p. Base model, 64 gigs.
That's lame.
I don't get this. I don't know what attracts people to buying an iPhone. I just don't get it. Is it because it's just a trend that hasn't stopped for many years? Is it just because they want a stylish, good-looking phone?
Mario, the thing with people these days is that like they go with Apple because they think of Apple whenever. I don't know. It's like an icon. That's what it is. Most people are more familiar with an iPhone. Like when they hear Apple, they think iPhone. When they hear Samsung, I don't know if they think of the S9 immediately. But I just feel like
well, I think at Samsung it's just the Galaxy series in my opinion.
If you're a white bitch, you're probably drinking coffee every day and you have an iPhone, but if you're a normal person, you probably have anything else that's not an Apple phone.
Oh my god, Doc.
Oh my gosh, Doc, that was fucked up, but it was funny.
Okay, back to okay, back to talking about iPhone. All right, so
sit down.
I guess, in my opinion, or the way I see it, the iPhone XS Max is 6.5 inches. So I think this is like the phone that's trying to compete with the Note 9 or the S9 Plus. And what I'm seeing is, in my opinion, okay, so let's go see. The Note 9 has a 6.4 inch Super AMOLED display compared to this has a Super Retina OLED for the iPhone XS Max. It's still not 1440p. It's close to 2K, but it's not. But it's I just don't get it. Okay, so I know for the 512 gigabyte for the Note 9, it was supposed to be $1,500, which is the same thing as the new iPhone Max. It's also priced at $1,500 for the 512 gig.
Why? I can't use the phone, Apple. Shut the fuck up. Okay, I get it.
Why?
I have to hit the trust option on the phone to back up my data, but I can't. The phone doesn't work.
Are you still having trouble with your girl's phone?
Yeah, I'm trying to back up the data, but it's telling me, hey, did you hit the trust option? Bitch, how am I gonna do that with a display that doesn't even work? And if I try to even contact Apple, they're gonna go like, hey, give me $300 and we'll fix your phone for you. Oh yeah, good luck. You're just gonna factory reset it after fixing it to see if that works. Oh wait, you just lost my data. You just robbed my money. Great, thanks a lot.
Yeah, Apple hasn't had a good rap.
Wanna know how this phone also ended up dying?
But
Here's the main reason how it ended up dying. The battery actually exploded because
Nice.
there's a lot of black spots all over the phone, okay? And that's because the battery's leaking whatever the hell it has.
In peace, the sun burned.
So technically this thing's supposed to be really far in, like saying, like dangerous hazard container. Yeah, I'm still trying to get data off of it.
but I thought that the iPhone was like what, kind of like water resistant.
Well, clearly not to battery acid.
So that's from the inside.
You can't even open it.
Well, you can't really open the new ones, Richard. Back then you were, but if you think about it, the one thing I still like about Samsung, LG, or any type of Android phone is you can
LG?
expand the storage. You can expand the storage.
Okay, I thought you hated LG though.
I don't hate them. I just hate their phones. That's all I do. That's I can say. I don't hate LG. I just hate their phones. That's what it is. I just hate their phones.
And their service.
That too as well. Alright, but this is about Apple, about them releasing 3 phones, what our opinions are. And what I'm saying is expensive for what you're buying.
I just hate the fact that it's telling me to do the trust thing, and I can't do that.
I don't like the fact that you have to get the same. They have to get the next update all the time. Otherwise, you can't use certain apps.
Well,
And the fact, like, you need the next update if you want to keep using certain apps. Because if you don't have the update, you won't be able to use certain apps.
well, apparently, what Apple said for these new phones, I'm saying, okay, so it's getting iOS 12, 4K video capture, the new A12 Bionic chip. All of them except for 2, except for the iPhone XR, which is the cheaper version, cheaper with quotes, will only have a 64, 128, and 256 gigabyte model. As for the other 2, it's gonna have a 64, 256, and a 512 gig. Now, expendable storage, none, obviously, because Apple likes to charge more.
Oh no!
RAM, we don't know how much.
Headphone jacket? No headphone jacket?
No, that's obvious. I know.
That's
RAM,
still,
RAM
that's stupid.
still doesn't show. I know Apple's always had like 3 gigs of RAM
I
on
know
their
what you're
phones.
talking about, man. Samsung's actually add a headphone jack to their devices and still keep it slim.
Oh
Apple
my
made a poor
god.
decision and a poor excuse saying, "Oh, hey, we can't add a headphone jack. That'll make our phones thick." But how is some of the thinnest phones still really thin with a headphone jack? But Apple can't do things right.
You
Another
know
thing
that.
is, there's a such thing called 2.5 millimeter jacks as well, even smaller than the standard 3.5. So they could also just go smaller if they wanted to. But hey, guess what? They don't know how to do that.
That's true. So, battery life. This is what Apple claims. It will last 30 minutes longer than the iPhone X, 90 minutes more than the iPhone X, and another 90 minutes more than the iPhone X. Now, so what the fuck did the iPhone have? The iPhone X had as a battery. Let me go check.
So how the fuck am I supposed to turn off this phone?
I don't know, dog. You tell us.
Dog, I have the perfect solution.
The fact that iPhone
Just
makes
throw it out.
makes you use their shit like iTunes. Like, it's mandatory to use iTunes. They force you to use your shit all the time.
Yeah, I was trying to get back into so I found my old iPod and tried to connect it to iTunes, and it said, sorry, we won't let you because this is already part of an account. I'm like, this is my account. Well, we won't let you because it's not part of the account. I'm like, oh, well, fuck this. And I just put it back where I found
Figure out
it.
how to turn it off.
I was
I
like,
figured
it was
out
better.
how to
It
do
was
the
better
only
where
thing.
it was and me not using it.
Did
That's
you try to contact Apple at least?
I'm not gonna contact Apple, and I don't want to. There's no point in me contacting Apple.
I mean,
You
there are
know,
some
here
old
is
photos
one.
in there.
All right,
here's
so-
one thing that's good about Apple. And let me tell you
Apple,
what the one good thing
so the
is.
iPhone X had a 2716 milliamp battery. So they claim now you're getting another 30 minutes to another hour and a half. So what? They went to what? 2900 milliamp, 3000 milliamp. I'm like, in my opinion, I'm like, for a phone that's gonna have 6.5-inch screen, you're gonna need a bigger battery.
All right, so you want to know one actual good upside about an Apple phone?
Okay, what?
They make a great paperweight.
Not true. That is
That's
true.
like probably the only thing they're useful for. You know, if you're out on a windy day, you're trying to do your homework, but your papers are like trying to fly all over the place, just set your iPhone on top, and there you go.
Hey, guy, I have a question. Okay. So,
Okay.
if Apple claims, 30 minutes to an hour and a half more battery time for their new generation phones, you guys know the bigger the screen, the more battery it's gonna waste, right? Right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
drinking water.
Oh, that's right. You don't know much about technology. You're just a
I feel
gamer.
bad.
I've been
That's
out,
very
Mario.
deep.
Here's the thing with me. I mean, I was being updated with this stuff when I began looking for my first tablet. But then,
Well,
hold
yeah.
up a sec.
But here's the one thing: tablets are based of what? They're usually 7,000 milliamp, 10,000 milliamps. We're talking about like phones here. Phones, like the bigger the screen, the more juice is gonna dry out.
I'm
or
gonna ask
run
my
out.
girl if I'm allowed to shoot
But-
a phone.
Dog, shut up.
No,
Anyway,
I'm being dead serious.
I
I'm
know
gonna
you
ask her
are.
to shoot it for
I
a
know
video.
you are.
I'm
Oh
gonna-
my god!
I'm
See,
gonna tag
this is
Apple on Twitter.
this is why they don't want to do like a live stream. I would have just recorded this, but you guys insisted. Anyway, so okay, so how it works is what I've known. The bigger the screen the phone is, the more battery is gonna waste. So in my opinion, if Apple claims it's gonna be an hour and 30 minutes more, the battery isn't big compared to what it is now. Like the Note 9 came out, it's 6.4 inch. That's a big screen, but the battery is 4,000 milliamp, which is pretty beefy enough for a phone like that. And I say it's like exceptional. Like the S9, our phones are 6.8, but it has 3,300 milliamp batteries, which lasts me like the whole day.
Okay. Hold up here.
What?
Hold up here.
You clearly know Apple doesn't
Summary.
have small people when they make their devices
Okay,
big.
summary. What's this?
Okay, Mario. Before you go on, I'm just gonna summarize this quick.
Okay.
Apple. This is basically the down parts to them. One, you're required the next. You're always gonna be required to get the next update. If you have an old ass iPhone like iPhone 4, 3, iPod, whatever, it's useless. They don't support it anymore. Second, what was the other one? Fuck. Sorry, lost my train of thought. But it's the same damn hardware, just slightly little fixes. And also, why would you? And also, Mario, like you've been saying, why would I want to spend so much money on on a expensive phone that doesn't even have enough good doesn't even have as good hardware compared to other phones like Android does now these days. Like seriously, I mean this is pretty much the main reason why I stopped getting updated with this sort of piece of with these tech stuff, because it was just the same thing every year. Like I didn't want to look into it. It was just the same thing every year. So I just got over it and I just kind of realized Android's better.
Well, for me, at a point, this is way before I even knew more about technology as I do now.
I didn't learn this stuff until I was trying to look for my first tablet.
Well,
I
for
feel
me,
like if I ever got sponsored by Apple, I'm just gonna give them bad reviews just so they pay me for them.
see,
Like literally, how much was your S9, Mario?
My S9, I got it for $720.
$720.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, and with better hardware, and it still has better hardware than the XS or
And what's going to be
whatever.
XS? Well, I can't really tell because the new A12 Bionic chip, so far what I know, it's a hexa-core. It's a 6-core compared to the 8-core the Snapdragon has. Now, I don't know how much RAM it is, but I think it's going to be 3 gigs as always, because most of the iPhones that have come out, they always come with 3 gigs of RAM instead of 4.
They don't know what comes after 3, that's why.
Just like Valve.
Valve can't even count.
Exactly, they don't know about 3. That's how it is.
Mario, this is somewhat related to Apple, but obviously I know we're talking about iPhones, but here's another thing. Obviously, when it comes to their MacBooks, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't recommend anyone to buy a Mac.
No.
If you want to play video games, you definitely don't want.
Everyone I know that everyone I know that has a Mac likes to show off.
A Mac can't even run Minecraft as very well. That's sad.
See, for me, I'm a gamer.
I mean, cause the thing.
I'm a gamer. See, look, Apple. You know, there's people I know people that have they'll have a Mac, and they'll use the USB-C port and connect it to a GPU. I forget what's that thing called from Razer, where you can just buy a GPU, plug it in, connect it through a Type-C port, and you can play games on the Apple, but you're only going to use about 70% of the power from the graphics card. You're not going to use the full 100%. So you're losing 30% performance.
I mean, yeah, but as I was continuing,
But
obviously
that's on the expensive side. Compared to you buying a laptop that already has a 1050 Ti, 1060, 1070, or 1080 Max-Q. But go ahead, Richard. Sorry.
No, yeah, obviously, Mario, I don't recommend MacBooks either.
I have never recommended MacBooks to anybody.
I mean, obviously, like, why would you want to spend that much money when you can get a laptop that still works fine?
The problem with MacBooks.
We were talking earlier, Mario. Like that is bullshit. When they say MacBooks have built-in virus protection, that is fucking bullshit. And you want to know why? Because the fact that people say that MacBooks have built-in virus protection, you want to know what a bunch of hackers are going to do? They're going to be making more viruses for built-in virus protection. More. Like, seriously. And also I will give the MacBook one thing though. I will only time I'll ever probably recommend it to someone is probably just if you're like an art major or something, because there are exclusive programs that run on Mac.
So here, look, I'm gonna say something.
Not really, to be honest.
Apple,
you can get any of the apps.
Apple can get viruses.
But there's some.
But they can't get
literally any exclusive Apple application on Windows now.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, and the only reason why is because people go ahead and they take the program and they port it over to Windows.
Okay, yeah, but obviously we're talking about people who.
Here's the one thing.
Doesn't know.
MacBooks can get viruses. Any Apple product that's pretty much a desktop can get a virus, but they are far likely less than Windows computers. Because we know Windows is so common compared to Apple. Like, if you look at the market right now, about 70% of all main OS is Android. And same thing for Windows. Windows is actually also taking over the whole market as well for desktops.
For desktops, yes.
But if you think about it, Macs can also get viruses, which they can pass on to Windows PCs as well. So even a Mac that isn't like experiencing issues, they can also have a virus, but it might be dormant as well. So
think about it. People just buy it. No, never mind. Just go on.
Then again, we are talking about Apple who got hacked.
I know, and who even admitted saying that they literally admitted that they slow down their products every time they release a new update because they're trying to encourage all the Apple users to buy their next product.
Well, I think Samsung even made a commercial, like a funny commercial on them.
Oh yeah, didn't they make a commercial?
Yeah, it was about this lady that had an iPhone, and the guy like at the Apple Store was like, "Oh, you can just upgrade to the next one."
Oh yeah.
And at the end, she buys an S9. I'm like, okay, that's gold. That was gold. That was gold.
Well, I mean, because Android phones can last you for what, up to like 5 years, maybe?
Mhm.
4 to 5 years, and then afterwards, then it's time for an upgrade.
Well, yeah, but in my opinion, the way I see it is that I don't know. I just don't have like this good thing with Apple. I've never have like my family, like my family. I know a lot of people that have an iPhone, but I do have my other family because I come from a family where most of us are really good with technology.
No, yeah.
And like my cousin, he's a huge fan of Google, so he has the Google Pixel, and it's actually one of his favorite phones. So he's waiting for like the Google Pixel 3 right now at the moment.
Well, yeah, because Google owns Android, and
Well,
if you
yeah.
actually buy, if you buy a Google product, they will continue updating that.
Well, Google. Well, if you buy a Google product, you're always gonna get like you're always gonna get like all the updates on the spot.
Yeah,
Especially
I don't know,
when
I
Google.
haven't touched my Nexus 10 in so long, and I don't even know if it's still getting updated. But if it is, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, if you think about it, most of the phones Google like the phones Google have are always run stock Android. Like we have Samsung, we have Android, but it's kind of like skinned through their UI of Samsung, which I don't mind. It's still a good like UI. LG, same thing. We have the LG UI skin as well, but it's still over Android. Basically, all phones use Androids. They just some manufacturers tweak it a little, and that's it.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, I knew that. You know, if Windows phones, we're going to go off topic here a little. If Windows phones were still out in the market, like if you think about it, looking back, Windows phones were probably better phones, but the problem with them is that there weren't any apps for it. Like literally. It had potential, but there not enough like developers wanted to make apps for it for some weird reason. I think it was probably just because it was too hard.
I just knew that Windows phones were not gonna last.
I mean, they were better phones. They had the better hardware.
They never had better hardware.
But they had a good software. It was running under Windows. Windows phones were technically the best phones, but the problem with them is that they didn't have apps. That's why nobody bought it.
I never liked the Windows. It wasn't even their OS was very confusing as well. Just basic. It was literally like it was literally another version of
It was
iPhone,
running
but-
under Windows 8.
No, it was Windows 8, but I'm like, really? I'm like, you can't do much with Windows 8 compared to regular Android.
Well, for a phone.
No, here
that's
the
why I said-
problem is the Windows Phone, to me, felt worse than the iPhone, in my opinion.
Application wise, yes.
Even the OS hardware, yeah, they can stick to whatever hardware that comes out. They can compete, but it was just the OS. I just didn't feel comfortable with it. I didn't like it. Don't feel comfortable. Don't like it. It's very confusing.
Yeah,
That's why it didn't sell well.
I don't know about that. But that's from what I heard.
Yeah, this went from like talking about Apple
I said no. We're going back to the topic because I wanted to go off topic there for a little bit.
I know you want to do off topic. It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry, no.
It's fine.
No,
Well,
no.
as much as I want to talk about Apple, we pretty much covered the basics. That's camera, everything. It's all fine. It's just
Like guys, point of this video was just to letting you guys know that there are cheaper alternatives. There are better phones out there than an iPhone. Like, we're just letting you guys know that, and for a cheaper price. And it has better hardware than an iPhone.
Well, there's much more better alternatives out there. Just if you think about it, there depends on price points. Like I can think of one, the OnePlus 6. It's a great phone. For $500, you're literally getting a good screen, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. The only thing you're sacrificing is screen, because it's a full HD plus, but it's still a solid rocking screen.
Oh yeah.
You're sacrificing what is it the S9 has? Wireless charging. Yes, you do have a glass back, but it's not gonna have wireless charging. But that's fine, because they claim that they're what's it called? God damn, I totally forgot. Fast charging is better, and it is. Charges the phone much quickly, because wireless charging isn't at its best right now.
I got me some pizza.
What the fuck was that?
I got mini pizza bagels, okay?
Okay then. Wireless charging isn't as best right now. Like, if you want to charge the S9 on a wireless charger, it's gonna take you at least about 3 hours.
I am upset about one thing though.
What?
I couldn't find a Coca-Cola anywhere.
Oh my god, dog. Okay, I'm about to end the videos. I'm about to end the video soon. Because now we're all going to food.
I still have my secret stash.
Anyway.
No, hold up. One final note. And also, was ever saying that Android phones have bad cameras? That is bullshit. Because even if they did, Android phones have over the years have gotten better cameras than iPhones over these recent years.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
So yeah, we're just telling you guys
the problem is
for a cheaper price. That's pretty much why we're doing this, because I feel like people should just be aware of this, but people just buy the next iPhone because people know it's Apple, and they're like, they just don't want to come out of their comfort zone, or it's
just a hype train.
Pretty much a hype train. It's like a trend. People will buy it just because it's a trend. Pretty much, they just want to board the hype train and keep riding the bandwagon together.
It's just there are better alternatives out there. It's just like you don't like. I know a lot of people that really want to have an iPhone, but if you're gonna spend your money, if you want an iPhone, you want to spend your money, that's great. Just go for it if you really want to. But there are much better alternatives out there with much more amazing specs, some for less money. Like, literally, if you're gonna spend $449.
Wait. Here. I got the cheapest way how to get an iPhone. Okay. Buy a cheap Android and just install iOS on it, and there you go.
Yeah, what Doc said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. You got an iPhone right there. One that's much more better too.
True. Like right now, what do we have? We got Samsung Galaxy S9, S9 Plus, Google Pixel 3 is coming out, OnePlus 6, LG G7 is actually really good.
I thought you said you hated their phones.
I did, but that's my opinion.
Opinion? That doesn't get rid of the fact
That's
you
my-
hate LG. Oh, by the way, if you guys go decide to go LG, their service is shitty because my buddy Tech Guy's here. He did not.
The problem with LG, and now we're going off topic again, but for anybody out there, the problem with LG had problems with their G series from the beginning. I had the G4, great phone, loved it, amazing camera, screen was good. Only problem was boot loop problems. And LG knew about the boot loops. They tried to fix it, never did. G5 comes out, good phone, camera as well, everything. Boot loop problems and heating issues. And of course, me being an idiot, upgrade to the G6. I shouldn't have upgraded to an S8 since one, but I never did, or a Note. But that was exploding at the time. Anyway, I got the G6, and it was really good. Glass back, wireless charging, all new stuff. And again, I started having problems. Like each LG phone I've ever gotten couldn't last more than 6 months. They've all had problems. And at one point, I just got tired of it. talked to LG, told them how I felt. That I was really interested in the G7, but knowing having problems with my other phones that were always boot loop, heating issues, all that stuff. They ignored what I said, and they were like, "Well, we think the G7 is a great phone. If anything happens, just contact us." I'm like, "You guys completely ignore whatever I said. Literally, just completely ignore everything I said." And at that time, at that moment, I just told myself, I am done with LG. I was done with LG, and I just got tired of it. Just got tired with their bullshit, their cover-ups, them not trying to, have phones with high specs, but they were always like a generation behind and charging you like a full flagship price. And at the end, I just went with Samsung. Got the S9. I love it. I am not regretting anything. This
They
phone.
make good monitors though.
I'm not saying LG is a good company, but their phones are shit. Like
Good phones, but good monitors.
me and Eric are gonna get we're gonna get a 4K TV from LG, and it's pretty much IPS, pretty much like a monitor, but we want one.
Well, my current monitor's from LG and it's actually really good.
I know. Like I said, LG is. Like I said, I don't hate them. I think their phones are terrible. That's all.
And their service. Their service.
Depending on what service. That was LG US Mobile, so probably their service is terrible.
Like, I mean, that's how good their monitor is. Whenever I go on Google Images and type in iPhone, they make the iPhone look ugly because they know for sure that it is ugly.
Okay.
But whenever I open up an image of an Android phone, they make it look so freaking amazing, man. Like,
Alright.
it's
But
insane.
overall, you guys, the point of this was to just tell you there are better alternatives than an iPhone. I mean, iPhones are too expensive. Android phones do tend to be cheaper and have better hardware than these current iPhones that are coming out soon. Like, we're just telling you guys that right now. If you're gonna go get the iPhone, the next upcoming iPhone, good for you.
Remember, this is valid information because we're sponsored by Apple. That's a joke.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
dog, knock it off.
Guys, if you're gonna get the next iPhone, go for it. Go for it. But we're just letting you guys know there are better alternatives and good ways to save you guys.
Wait, I got one more.
Oh my god, no, we're done. We're done.
No. Trust me. I'm gonna start my own company called Pear.
Okay, we're done now. Alright.
Alright.
So
Later,
for anybody out there, you already know this is not the way I wanted this video to go, but they wanted to do a live stream.
Not me.
I
You
guess.
suggested it.
No, I actually just doing a recording. You wanted to do a live stream. Dog was like,
Okay,
whatever.
No, I suggested it, and Mario, be honest. Your whole stream's been full of gaming stuff. You haven't uploaded one tech thing in so long.
Because
so
I'm not.
What do you
Because
mean
there's
you
times where I
did?
can. There's times where I can. There's times where I'm not. And like I said, I don't do Apple products at the time. I don't do. I try to do as much as I can for tech, but then again, I try my best to get like the latest tech. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can talk about it. Like I'll just wait until they announce the new phones later on, and I'll grab it. You guys.
We'll give you a good review.
Okay. Yeah, Mom, don't buy the next iPhone.
Alright, guys. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one. Hopefully, with these two idiots.
We'll be back with some Rainbow